Nigeria's only radio station for women and their families. And it's currently about 15 minutes past 4 o'clock right here in the studio. And I still have Mr. and Mrs. Olatubosun with me right here. My lovely couples are here. I really wish you can see them, but unfortunately, you cannot see them. They are so pretty. They are so cute together. I love what I'm seeing. They make me want to get married. They make me feel like, do fast, go and marry. This is so beautiful. I love what I'm seeing. And I'm so happy to have you, to have the both of you join us this evening. How are you doing?
We're doing great.
Good evening. Can you hear us loud and clear?
I can hear you loud and clear. Good evening.
All right, we're doing fine. Thank you for having us on the show.
You're welcome. So good to have you. Mr. Olabitubos is like, you go and get your own sunglasses. It cannot be the only. You cannot prepare you.
I will.
You're welcome. So, I want you to tell us about yourselves. For the sake of those who are just listening for the first time, they don't know who you are. They've never met you before, and they want to know who is this couple she's talking about. I want you to briefly tell us how you met, up to this very moment. How did you meet? Your names, just tell us who you are.
You want to go first?
Should I?
Ladies first. Oh, Jesus. These people are preparing me. Oh.
Yeah. So we are the Olatubosuns. My husband is Iyanoluwa Amadenike. Olatubosun. I've successfully stolen his surname 5 years. I think 2 days ago.
Yeah.
A few days ago. So it's been 5 years. I snatched the surname.
I agree. That's how I snatched it. I agree.
So we are the contentment couple. We teach, we teach contentment in marriage, show people how godly marriage is, how beautiful marriages are, especially to debunk the entire rumor and ways that marriages are being represented online. Yes. So she was talking about how we met.
Yeah, how you doing me?
Yeah.
All right, so basically we share our story online to encourage people because definitely we know we're not the only one in that situation.
Definitely.
In that we're starting out like that. So we need to let people let off the pressure because social media, especially Instagram, is a perfect place where you come to show your life is going on perfectly, and people tend to be pressured by all this. So we are telling them that it's not always like that on the other side. All right, so how did we meet? So I was sent from the headquarters to our local church to teach them how to play the instrument guitar. So that was how we met. She decided to join the class, not knowing she actually coming there.
I wanted to learn how to play guitar. I was already playing.
I love it.
So she wanted to come and catch the brother that they have sent, and here we are today.
Yeah.
Aww.
So yeah, that's how we met.
Oh, so cute. Oh my God. I'm going to try to stop smiling so that we can get serious for a moment. But this is really beautiful and I love it so much. I love the fact that you call yourself the contentment couple and the fact that you're very right about the fact that a lot of people on social media, they only show like the perfect side of their lives, and beyond the camera there is reality. A lot of things are going on behind the scene that a lot of people are not aware of. And I want you to take people listening through that. What does your beginning look like? What was it like? I know what it looks like. I've seen a lot of your videos, and I must say that I do. I'm a follower. I must say that it takes a lot of courage for anybody to show that part of their lives, especially in this current dispensation. What was it like for you, getting married and that you didn't have so much, but you felt like we'll still do this regardless? Not too many people can do that. People who have houses and cars and they don't even want to get married, they'll feel like, I don't have everything yet. So what was it like for you? How did you move from, even though we don't have everything, we'll still choose to get married and build our life from there? What was it like for you?
All right, so it was not like we have everything figured out with the courage that we're going to show this online and all the rest. Even while we were living there, we don't show ourselves online.
Yes.
We only show probably picture we snap outdoors and church and every other thing.
Yeah.
So it was later your call to us that, okay, probably when we moved out of here, we should, share a bit to just encourage people that are there. So we didn't share in real time. It was after we left the place. You understand? So how did we get ourselves started like that, not having much? So it was a bit of a rebellious, if I would say, because nobody would open their eyes to let their daughter marry a guy that is still that has no money. In this generation. No one will. So it was a bit of a rebellious. We just let them know that we love each other so much. We have plan, we have strategy, and she could see that this guy she's going to marry is not lazy. At least 5 years from now, they see that their baby girl is not suffering.
She's
doesn't know where she is. So that's a testimony right there. So we were able to prove to them that we know what we're doing, and we wanted to just start more. Let's just start. And we started with face me, I slap you. In your room, I slap you, share toilet, share bedroom. You know what that kind of environment is.
I know.
So that was what we have. Exactly. And we started by the grace of God. We were able to start there, and also we're hardworking, we have plans, we have strategies and everything. And that was what helped us to be able to have this beautiful testimony now.
Awesome. Mr. Latuboso, how did it feel like for you? Every lady, somehow has this vision, oh, my husband, he must have a car, he must have a, this and that. How did it feel like for you when it came to propose marriage and you knew that he was just starting out in life? What made you say, this man, I will stay with him? And, I know that you might probably have faced pressure from friends, from people around you. How were you able to handle that?
So I think first things first, you can also, I'm not of the opinion of, my husband has to have everything.
Yes.
I'm not don't let me use a very every word, but I've always been of the opinion that even as a woman, you can have your own thing. You really don't even have to wait for, a man to have everything.
Yes.
So why did I choose to go with my husband? I saw potential. My husband is a dreamer. My husband is a hardworking person. So I've seen that, this person is definitely not going to be here forever. I'm going to build with you. Right. Yes. He also chose me because a lot of people make him look like, I'm the one that was because he chose me. I could have money too. We see women who had money, but why did I have that kind of money?
Yes.
So he chose me. We chose each other. But then I think I just saw in my husband someone who is definitely not going to stay here. He had what it took. He had everything, even though the money was not there at the time. But then I saw it in him that no, this guy is going places. So I didn't run away from home, but I literally said no to everybody and said no. And it's
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. And I really love the fact that you mentioned that it was not just you that chose him. He had to choose you as well. A lot of people think that when it comes to like humble beginnings, it has to be the woman to say, I'm suffering with you, or he is also suffering with you because you also because you also don't have a lot of things. Do you understand? So it is like more like a partnership. You are doing this together. We are building our lives together. It's easier to do when you're together than we are both in separate ways. And I really love the fact that you mentioned that. So, Mr. Latuboso, what were some of you mentioned strategies that you had a lot of strategies put in place, to help you get to where you are today. If you don't mind sharing some of the habits or strategies that you had to put in place for a young couple listening right now, and they want to do what you did. They are confident. They want to do what you did. What are some of the things that you think would help them on their journey?
All right. So one of the things I would say is that before starting out, one of my strategies is going with God. But there's nothing you can do without God. Most of the time, we try to throw Jesus aside, but you can't do without. As a child of God, you have, because He's the one orchestrating and directing our path.
Yes.
Number two is that I'm very hardworking. I had a lot I was doing. I was working as a computer hardware engineer, doing ICT teaching. I was repairing systems at that time. Before I now, become a full video producing person. So I was hardworking, and I did not just choose her because she's beautiful, she has a fine face, or whatever. I make sure also she's someone that has potential. She's someone that has something good going on for herself. She was hardworking. I think that the Bible says the woman is an helpmeet. She's going to help me. So she needs to come into my life with something to help me with. So it's not just going there blindly. Yeah.
Not
so
a liability.
but now sorry?
She's not a liability to you.
Exactly. She's not a liability. So I think those are the three major things that really helped. Yeah.
You know, your story just shows so much that marriage is about partnership. It's not something that you go and do all by yourself. If the man is bringing value, the woman also has to bring value. And when values come together, yes, that's when you actually see growth. Mr. Latubos, I wanted to also answer that question. What do you think are some of the things that you did that maybe helps you guys to be where you are today? What are some of the things that, you know, did you fast for 30 days? What are some of the things that you did, you know, that helped you?
Yeah, why are you laughing now? So my whole fasting for 30 days was probably, there was this guy in our church, then I was almost match made in my church. Amazing guy from the United States. This is my husband said. He has not had what did you have that time? You don't even have it. But I was almost match made in church. Then, you know, this lady I started speaking with my mom. My mom was like, "Oh, we have to pray and fast." That was really tight. That was the time I fasted. Okay. But that's like, by the way, I think for me, like my husband has said, God first, like picking God first, right? And then secondly would be to keep, you know, upskilling. I think continuing from where my husband has stopped, it was the place of upskilling for me. I started out as a microbiologist. I was working in the laboratory. Then I got into tech now I'm a fintech product manager. I'm a technical product manager in one of the biggest fintechs in Africa.
Hallelujah.
And I wouldn't have even been able to do that without my husband. So for every couple that is like starting like us right now, just, you know, put God first, of course.
Yes.
Make sure, how can you increase your income? How can you be better? How can you learn more skill? My husband talked about him being a repairer at the time before he upskilled again to being a video producer. Everything video production, videography, photography. He does everything. So we had to like keep finding a way to improve ourselves every time. Yeah. And number 3, do not spend above your means. I know some of you all are planning for your wedding, which is beautiful, but we never spent above our means. Yep. I mean, you might have heard us talk about our wedding story. So like that's another thing that I would, you know, add to what helped us that every couple could also, you know, pick from. And then number 4 would be, do not try to impress anybody because you're going to, they will hate you, they will abuse you. If you know you're not ready, why are you getting married? You know what you are planning for. You know what the future you are seeing. That future is only you and your spouse that can see it. It's now. People are saying that future we saw 5 years ago, right? So for every couple here, you know, every person that is planning to start like this, also, I feel like I'm speaking grammar here, but then moving forward, also ensure that you are not looking to impress anybody. And I think, of course, saving and investments, that's like a very good conversation you want to plan for. We don't spend on impulse. That's not what we do. In fact, at the time we got our car, we had a plan. We had a stretched out plan. We could have gotten a car maybe before then and spent all our life savings. So we wouldn't do that. So we plan ahead when it comes to saving, when it comes to...
But I think the most important key part there is pressure. Do not let anybody pressure you.
Exactly.
Since we got married, I don't think we really attended any wedding as such. If you call me for your wedding, you will not see us there. I'm telling you. So there's some of the things that we have. There's a lot of sacrifice. But people will abuse it. But just know that this is for this time.
Exactly.
We still have 10 years wedding anniversary to celebrate. We still have 20 more to celebrate. So now is not the time to relax and start misbehaving.
The knowledge and the belief that it will not be like this forever is one thing that should keep every couple going, and I really, really love that. Thank you so much for that answer. You guys need to see the way Mrs. Olatobosun keeps looking at her husband. It's me she's talking to, but it's her husband she's looking at. No problem. No problem. It's fine. Okay, so I also want to ask again, what's one thing you had to learn in marriage? You know, we all have this beautiful fantasy about marriage and all of that. What was one hard truth you had to learn in marriage? You probably didn't know it was like that before until you stepped into it, because they would tell you that there's so many things that you would not know about your spouse or even about marriage until you enter inside. That's when you get to see all of those things. So what are some of the others things that you had to discover about marriage? Like, you people did not tell me that this is how this thing, you know, is, or, you know, what do you have those moments?
We have a lot of them as well.
Okay,
We learned a lot. I think we had to learn to understand each other better. At a point, we realized my husband might be saying, "Oh, A as small letter," and what I hear is small letter as an A. But actually, we're saying the same thing. Yeah. So we learned to actually understand each other. At a point, my husband would say, "Well, English is not our first language, so make sure that this is not causing an issue, you know, in between us." And then also we learned to forgive each other. We forgive like every day, 70 times, 7 times in a day. Because when you forgive the person in the morning, I might now do another thing again in the evening, and then they're still angry, so you still have to forgive. I think another thing we learned was putting each other first. Yes. You know, there's just this me before you get into marriage. You're just looking out for yourself. It's you. But then when you get into marriage, it's my partner first. Whatever makes my partner happy. Yes. If my partner is not happy, then I'm not happy. So that's another thing we learned. And then we also learned that our backgrounds are different. So my husband is the first one, I'm the last one. I'm just a baby. I'm just a baby girl coming from my house, coming from my last born background. And then you expect me to have so much sense as a wife. Who am I? Oh my God. You know, and my husband had to learn how to manage me, quote unquote, and he has done an amazing job at that. I think I've also learned to understand my husband. Sometimes I'm like, calm down now, but then I realize he sees things in a different way, and I see things in a different way. I think those are the things that we've learned in marriage.
For me, I would say I've learned to understand that a marriage is more sacrifice, more intentionality, more about the other person first. You know, there's a lot going on that you didn't discover, because I've never been married before. I was just thrown into this situation. Exactly. So it's not just about that infatuation feeling, the crush that I can't wait to see. Now we see each other every day. Even on days that by weekends we're going to be together. That weekend, that's when we choose to have something to argue and fight about. So you need to understand that even in that, is still love.
There's still love. I love that. And thank you so much for that answer. You also mentioned before that you had to say no to a lot of people and to a lot of things while you were starting. A lot of people don't know how to say no. They feel like, how would they see me, and some people are afraid of the fact that, so people will say, I'm not doing well in my marriage, or we don't have a lot of things. There's this pressure to perform, to feel like, you are rich, you've made it. How are you able to deal with the pressure from people, from family, from friends? Because they will expect that, she's married, she should be able to give us this certain amount of allowance every month. We was there that she cannot buy, she's not married. So how are you able to deal with all of those pressure from people? For somebody listening that they genuinely want to say no to certain things, but they just don't know how, they're just scared.
All right, so I'm going to be very blunt, because sometimes I just say it so that we'll get it over with.
Yes.
Understanding the fact that even twins that come together from the same mother, on the last day, they are not going to enter heaven the same time. Yes. If one is righteous and one is not, their salvation does not work for each other. So understanding that my destiny is different from your path, it's very crucial. I say no, like I said earlier, we don't even buy Ashwebi, we don't. We avoid most of our friends' party, anything that will involve us, because we have to plan. Salary, my own salary, we have to manage everything to get accordingly with calculation. Because one thing we are scared of is that we started this thing and there are some family members and some friends talking to me, you this guy, why would you guys get married? Because I can remember at that time, the church was giving me the standard that before you get married, you must have at least 2-bedroom flat apartment. And you were married in one room and face me, I slap it. Do you understand? And I have friends that have did their wedding, don't shake, big wedding, big party, and me coming out with this standard, they've already broken the record, and you coming in with this very low standard. So I had to make sure that the pressure was zero. Though if I had the money, I would have done it to please people. But God catch me, I didn't have that money. So I give you Abhishek, this is what is available. So you just have to say that no, because you can't die. Do you understand?
Yes.
At that moment, people have attended a lot wedding after that. They can't even remember what your wedding looks like anymore.
Exactly.
So whatever it is, if you can't attend that party, say no, I'm not available.
Yeah, if you cannot pay that money, if you cannot do that group friend thing, say no. My husband was talking talking about buying Ashebi and all, the maximum that we're going to do is to plan to say how much are we going to give this person that will help this person. We'll just give you something, like give you and say, no, we're not spending, as much as this.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's very true. Thank you so much for that. This is everybody listening. If you feel like you have to be a certain thing for people around you, or you don't want to offend anybody, what would they say? How would they see me? It's better. It's better you stand for what you want, because at the end of the day, if maybe you use your house rent to buy wedding clothes now, you will be the one to still go and look for another wedding house. You cannot go and ask them for it. So cut your coat according to your size, just like you used to say. Yes, thank you so much. I think finally, what advice will you give to a young couple just starting? They don't have so much. They don't know how to go about it. They don't even know how to convince their parents. They don't know what to say. What would be your advice to a young couple just starting out and they don't have so much?
Okay, well, first thing I would say is that understanding that marriage is a spiritual journey. It's a spiritual institution. It's a place, it's an institution established by God himself.
Yes.
So before you are going into marriage, you already know what it looks like. You've learned, you've listened, you've read from God. The partner you are going with, you've been assured that this person, he is my partner.
Yes.
You are the one that received the blueprint for that journey. It's like someone that wants to start a business, but is going about telling everybody to encouraging, will this thing work, will it not work? You are the one that should show us that it will work.
Yes.
If something's going to be special, you have to make it special first for us to see that it's special. So you have to be the one to convince us, because everybody, trust me, is looking at you that you are going to fail.
Yes.
I'm probably sure some of the family are waiting, but now the Lord has disappointed them. So you have to be the one to disappoint them. Let them see that this is the path you want to follow. And as long as you carry God along, all will be well.
All right, Mr. Latobosun, what's your advice?
Okay. I was going to say we had given a list before. I was going to even iterate on some part of it, but I think in addition to everything that we have said, making sure that you follow some of the advices that were given, I would also say that know that it's you and your partner against the world. Yeah, I think that's something that
really helped us.
Yeah, just know that it's you. Like when the going gets tough, when the horses are down, when what other English word? Just know that it's you and your partner. You are not against each other. Try to work things together, make decisions together, make plans together, work together. Everything. Once there is separation, even from the beginning, from that wedding part, somebody is telling you, "Oh, my mother is this. I don't want to do."
Yeah,
this.
You guys have to have one mouth.
Make sure you have one word.
Yeah, if you don't, it won't work. It will not work. You must be on the same place, on the same page.
Yeah, always be on the
same page. Thank you so much for sharing that. That was a very insightful advice for every single couple, every young couple just starting out. Mr. Latobos, I want you to give your husband a, let's say, a love letter. You just celebrated your five years anniversary. Tell him face to face now. How will I say it now? You've started from somewhere, now you're here. What would you like to say to him for how far you guys have come, till this very moment? What would be your maybe thank you word or that sweet thing you just want to say to your husband? And Mr. Olatobosun, you also do the same to her. So let's hear it.
All right. So I think I've said this before, but I want to iterate it again. I remember when I was single, we always saw marriage as a reward. And we would always say, you have a good husband and stuff. And then at a point, God promised me that he's going to bless me. A lot of times he told me, I knew that I'm going to get the blessing of God. And baby, I'm saying it here, that you are that blessing he promised me. You complete, you are perfect for me. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm trying to say that you are that blessing God promised me then, I'm going to bless you, I'm going to do this. It is you. I see that blessing in you. Not even because we're on radio. I've said this before to you. And I love you. I appreciate you. I honor you as my head, as my priest. I couldn't have been able to submit to any other person except somebody who I've seen that honors God, that literally leads us just the way Christ leads the church. No, I'm not even kidding. Like, the kids and I were super blessed to have you. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful.
I put kneeling down.
Kneel down. Let me just tell you.
You guys, so that's supposed to does nails now for our husband. Oh my God.
I love you. Thank you.
Oh.
Let me kneel down for my husband and kids now.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I love this. I love this.
They say but I mean, I know you love me. I know.
Well, I don't have much to say, but I just want to thank you and appreciate the fact that you actually stood by me. Yeah, because I know how rebellious you are then, that this guy said that's who I want to marry. I want to get married. I'm doing this, Some people are like, no, this is not the right path. Guy, you go lower, well, so far, you're just like, you don't know what I'm saying. I'm the one. And I really appreciate God that by now you are at least proving them wrong. They are seeing that, okay, you actually make the right step. Because at the end of the day, it's peace that matters most. And then you are giving me so much of it. I really appreciate you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Oh, this was such an insightful session, and this is filled with so much love, so much happiness, so much joy, so much peace. And I'm so grateful to God for the kind of marriages like yours. Not too many people are experiencing this right now, especially online. Every day, divorce here, divorce there. But I'm happy that we still have marriages, couples who are standing together, building together through every difficult times. You guys choose each other. And I really, really love that. Thank you so much for being an example of what is possible, being an example of what real love looks like and what marriage should be. Thank you so much for doing this for our generation. Because we need it. Thank you so much for joining me this evening.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. All right. Bye.
Bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Mr. and Mrs. Olatubosun this evening on the BigTunes show. I'm hoping that you had fun with that conversation. I did. I'm smiling so much right now. I feel so in love right now. It's such a beautiful thing, and I love it. And I'm really grateful that we still have marriages that are thriving like this. Thank you so much for joining us and for being a part of the show. Till next week Friday, when we would have another set of couple come together. This set of couple are older couples. I think they're about 40 years in marriage. They're about Mr. and Mr. Olatubosun are 5 years in marriage. But yeah, it's a great time. Next week Friday, we're going to have another great time on radio with another great set of couples. Till next week, I'm leaving you with songs right now, so just enjoy songs and have fun this evening. This is Women Radio 91.7. Thank you so much for joining me on the BigTunes show this evening. I hope you learned one or two things from the conversation, and I hope this helps you remember that love is real, love is true, no matter the amount of heartbreak you've experienced in this life. Love will still find you. Love will definitely find you. Just be at the right places, be with the right people. Love will find you. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Fimfolowa Akiremi. Till next week. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.
Shout out to my one and only. Now you be my hello bam. In Kem, you're one in a million. Shout out to my baby honey. Now you be my girl, you. Demi.